what makes a mother-daughter relationship so valuable and genuine. Perhaps the reason is because those same daughters will become mothers one day. The constant bickering will someday make sense after an epiphany takes place. Friends may come and go, but a mother's love for her daughter will never change. Relationships thrive on the love for one another. My mother and I have always had a loving relationship, no matter the situation. Everyone has a person who has created an influential stamp, one who has been pressed on their hearts to change their perspective. You may be able to clearly recall this figure in your life and how they affected you. Throughout my life, my mother has been a constant influence who has shaped me into the person I am today. You will see why I am proud to be the person I am because of the values she has taught me, the great examples she has set, and the way she has presented herself. I would first like to elaborate on the values I now live by. Since I was young, my mother has always expected me to act in a certain manner. She expects this of me because she has taught me the values that I should live by. My parents have always taken me to church. I am a member of First Baptist Church of Collinsville. They have taken me here not only to worship God, but to learn why I must stay true to my values. My mother has taught me to put God first. She has taught me to stand firm in my faith and not to be afraid of standing up for what I believe to be true. As I go off to college next year, I'll be faced with the many temptations the world has to offer. I must remember everything my mother has coded into my mind. I have learned to never stray from the person I am. I must not conform to the ways of other people, but I should rather be the person I was created to be. I should form my own journey and live accordingly. I know that I can achieve this because my mother has set the great example of living respectfully. Everyone has gone through their fair share of good and bad times in their life. Not everyone, however, sets a good example for others who may eventually go through these same situations. My mother has always set a good example for me and my two sisters. She is a kindergarten teacher at Collinsville Primary School. Many days she has come home filled with stress and frustration. Her class may have had a bad day, which caused her to have one as well. Some people who are faced with an obstacle such as this become discouraged and let this affect them. Whenever my mother has one of these days, she simply prays. She prays for patience with her class and the strength to have a better day tomorrow. This small act speaks great words to me. It shows me the type of person that I should strive to be. A few years ago, my mother discovered that she had skin cancer. Although this was not life-threatening, anytime someone hears the word cancer, fear automatically enters the brain. Like most others, she was also scared. However, she did not let this affect her. After the doctors removed the cancerous places on her skin, she began to make wiser decisions. Now she puts on sunscreen whenever she goes outdoors for an extended period of time. She makes sure that any unusual spots on her body are checked to see if they are harmful. As she sets these great examples by the actions she takes, she presents herself as a strong and loving woman. The way others judge you involves first impression. It is important to present yourself in a way which is respectful to not only others, but also to yourself. As my mother encounters different people each day, she remembers to carry herself in a caring way that shows the warmth in her heart. This encourages me to think twice about how I treat others. In order to have a successful future, I know I must get a job. In order to be offered jobs, not only in the medical field, but any other field as well, one must present themselves professionally. I aspire to become a pediatrician. I must present myself with a loving attitude to each child that I help. Your presentation affects the mood of the situation around you. Your attitude can be an influential factor to the way others act. As my mother cares for her students, I will care for each of my patients. As I reflect on the woman my mother is, I see the woman I long to be when I grow up. She has truly shaped me into the person I am today and the person I will be through her constant influence. Knowing how my mother has impacted my life may cause you to reflect upon your relationships. There are many daughters in the world just like me that are proud to call their mother Mom. I believe that a relationship between a mother and a daughter is one of the most priceless things in the world. I love my mama.